really quick before the intro, and you
Hmm.
can have this as a blooper. I want to do a t-shirt reveal for you guys. Look at my
Oh.
merch.
Yes.
Training
Oh,
club
I
I'm
love
obsessed.
made for you.
that.
You love
Fantastic.
a trainer trope.
Yes, that sure was made
Hmm.
for you.
Ah, it's the best thing I've ever bought on Etsy. Welcome to A Court of Cortisol and Chaos.
The podcast where we spiral over fictional characters.
Ignore real life responsibilities.
And discuss things that finally made it out of the group chat. Welcome.
Welcome. Our third episode.
We're rocking.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay, I chose two fun little games for us this evening. It's going to be a this or that.
Ew.
And then I haven't decided what to call this. I was kind of thinking like whose line is it anyway on that same vibe of like who would do like I don't know. I couldn't think of a good name, but you'll see when we get there.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay. So, for the first one, this or that, or would you rather? Would you rather party at Rita's or the White Raven?
White Raven.
Ooh, yeah. I think depending on my mood, but I think White Raven is gonna be that's gonna be the vibe most
Yeah.
nights.
White Raven sounds so cool too. Like it's like an old temple and there's like
Hmm.
uplighting and it just sounds really cool. I'm definitely there. And then we
Same.
had kind of joked around yesterday about how like the Fae music, like it's probably just like chain smokers.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
very like
EDM. It
mhm.
is 2016.
Which is
Exactly.
peak, absolute
Yes.
peak music.
Agreed.
Perfect.
Oh gosh.
Addie, what about
Okay.
you?
Oh, White Raven. Like I'll see y'all there.
Yeah, we'll all meet up there later.
Hmm.
Okay. For a sidekick, would you rather have Mort as your door handle into your bedroom or a Lahaba? I'd be Lahaba.
Lahaba.
Wahaba. I don't want more listening to
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
that's a little
nosy.
creepy.
His sarcasm was funny sometimes,
He
though.
was. Yeah.
Now that I'm in my Crown of Midnight reread, I'm like, I don't fuck with Mort. I don't like him.
Oh my God. You're not asking the right
He's a
question.
hindrance a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, Lahaba is so sweet. I just want to be like Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah, her watching her fangs and bangs, and oh my gosh, I can't. Yeah, I love her.
So for those
I'm
watching,
scared.
no. I'm just providing context. Um, Addie and Lindsay just started their Crescent City journey. So
I'm scared.
I'm
no,
scared.
don't be. We love Lahaba.
I just saw a look that was pointed.
Well, it's
I'm gonna
SJM.
have to
Like there's
review the
Yeah.
tapes.
I love
Yeah,
Lahaba.
we'll
SJM.
circle back.
It's SJM. Like there's always
Yeah, you never know what she's gonna do.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Would you rather see the orchestra in Terracin or Rifthold, wherever it was, visit the Griffin's Antiquities, or go to the art district in Valaris?
Ooh.
Orchestra.
What?
Absolutely. The orchestra.
Oh, orchestra.
I would want to go to the Rainbow of Valaris.
I
That's where
think
I would be.
I would as well go to the art district. Yeah, I love a
That's
good
what I'm
stroll.
thinking too. Yeah.
Valid. Those are
These
all
are good
valid points.
questions.
Okay, of course, you know me in this circus. I had to throw one in there. Would you rather go to Starfall, like the whole thing, go to the ball, stand on the balcony, watch Starfall, go to the traveling circus and see Lorcan juggle his swords, get your fortune told by a lead? Or would you rather browse books and what did I write? Relics in the old square?
Starfall.
Yeah, y'all know I'm at the
Starfall.
circus, so
Yeah.
We'll meet you after Starfall at the circus.
Yeah, you're gonna be at the circus, right, Addie?
yeah,
Eddie's gonna
100%.
join the circus. She's running away to join the circus. She's
Okay.
Lorcan's assistant. She's gonna be oiling him up.
I just
No
realized what my
comment.
dream job was.
Oh my gosh.
Women in
Okay.
STEM.
I feel like I already know what y'all's answer is going to be, but I might be wrong. Get a tattoo by Rowan or be painted head to toe by Resand.
Tattoo by Rowan.
This is a tough one because for me it was I mean, Mist and Fury is where it all began for me, right? But I would want Rowan. Yeah, I would definitely want to get tattooed by Rowan. Resand walked so Rowan could run.
That's true.
So Rowan can fly. Oh, I don't. The paint is just so temporary. Because of that, Rowan, final answer.
I think I too would do a Rowan tattoo. Although the idea of Resand painting your body, I mean, come on, that's pretty hot.
That was it was a
They'll
close.
never make me hate you, Reese.
Yeah.
Oh no, never. Absolutely not. I'm not a Reese hater.
I'm just a Reese suspicious. I'm sus.
You're
of
cautious.
Reese. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Understandably so.
So this next game,
Okay, that
we
was a really good
kind
game.
of-
Good job, Addie.
Yeah, we love that.
this next game, we kind of already started playing this the other day in our group chat when I was kind of trying to get the ball rolling. So we'll start off with that one, which I already answered in the chat. But out of the SJM characters across the Maasverse, who would have a podcast? I said Lucian, and it would be called Behind the Eye.
I love that.
I said that I thought it would be the Surreal. I think that's the obvious answer.
For sure.
It'd be like a gossip, like a Dumois, like a
Mhm.
gossip podcast.
Lysandra.
I was about to say Lysandra.
And
Like
she
a-
would have all the good tea.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
She'd have some good guests.
Mhm.
Yes.
It'd be like call her daddy, but
I was just gonna say like Alex Cooper.
yeah.
Yes.
Call her Shifter.
Yeah.
Between the shape shifting and then her history of profession, she would know everything about everybody. No
Yes.
secret.
She would have.
That was a
ooh.
good one, Amy.
I had to think about it a second.
Mhm. Oh no, I need it. I feel like I need a different one. I feel like Bryce would have one, and it would just be like one of those like shit talking podcasts.
Bryce
Like,
After Dark
the
or
one
something.
with like Tana and what's her face?
Yes,
was it
canceled.
Hunt
Yeah.
would totally do it with her though.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Okay. Who would have a TikTok and do like all the trendy videos?
I think Aylin
Evangeline. Sorry, Amy, go ahead.
No, I just said I think Aylin would. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Or
Aylin would.
should I say Selena?
Yeah, yeah. I think it'd be a Selena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I initially
Manon.
said like Evangeline
think-
would have it, and she'd get like, she'd get like Lysandra to do it with her, or Aylin to do it with her.
I could see like Manon and Dorian having like a
couple's
couple's like thirst trap.
Yes.
Like
They just like
Yeah.
know they're hot and have edits
Mhm.
made of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like have just like really good chemistry. They're just like sitting there staring at each other, and like that's the whole TikTok.
Yeah. My pick, I feel like Bryce, especially after a night out, she would totally like do a thirst trap dancing TikTok video.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She'd know all the trends.
Yes, definitely. Who would have a really aesthetic Pinterest?
A lead.
My answer too.
I love that. I
Mm.
feel
Juniper.
like, oh,
Oh,
Yes,
true. Elaine.
definitely. Yeah.
It would just be pink.
hmm And flower
I
reposts.
also, though, could see Nesta having like a dark aesthetic.
Hmm.
She
Like
might have
Clear
a
very,
views.
Tumblr.
she has a Tumblr.
Nesta could have like all the workout things pinned.
hmm
Hmm.
All
Her
the stuff like,
meditation.
The
yeah.
Stairmaster.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I initially said Feyre just because she's like the artist, but I kind of like the Nesta answer. Did you say Addie, who you thought?
I seconded a lead.
Mm,
That was my thought. Yeah.
I love a lead.
Oh, she's
So
so
sweet.
sweet. Okay, this one's funny. Who would send 2 a.m. you up texts? Cassian.
Adian.
Rune.
Rune. I think that's canon. I think that's in the book.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
Um,
I mean, Rhysand and Feyre flirty text through
I mean,
the little
true.
notes that they.
I
I was gonna
also,
say Bryce.
yeah,
Mhm.
I could
I
see
agree.
that.
Yeah.
Who would be in a MLM or pyramid scheme?
Ooh.
Oh, I love this question.
Rysand.
Rhysand.
He'd be in the top 1%.
He founded the pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the
Oh,
founding members.
Yeah, I was gonna say more. She gives MLM
mm,
energy, and I
I could
like
see that.
more.
I, we need to talk about more for in a
We
future
should.
episode
We do, because I
because
have mixed feelings. It would be a
I,
good
hmm
discussion.
me too. Who?
The wheels are turning.
I know. I'm like, I've suddenly forgotten every character in the SJM universe. I don't know. I also feel like Rune would have somehow gotten sucked in to an MLM
On accident. Oh,
on accident.
I've got some Crescent City characters who I think would be that dumb.
I mean,
I
I
I think
think
can't
that,
wait.
Flynn. Have we?
yeah, any of them. Flynn,
Yeah,
Ethan,
Flynn, Ethan. I feel like, yeah,
Tharian, or whatever.
though,
The idiot boys.
So I am, as of our recording, I am 54 chapters in. I've been
You're
listening
knocking it
and
out.
reading.
Did you start yesterday or like 2 days
No, I
ago?
started a few days ago, but I've been listening and reading. And then Addie, how far are you right now?
I think I'm on chapter 30.
Okay. Yeah, you're catching up. Like
Yeah,
you
you both
like
are.
You caught up.
ran through it.
Yeah, I did not listen as much as today as I wanted to. I probably could have been closer to 40, but I listened like all day yesterday and then read really late last night. So,
It's just like so like I didn't intend to listen to it so much, but it's just so comforting to listen to Elizabeth Evans's voice.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, now I'm scared. You guys keep giving each other looks. But
There's just three
The boys are
books.
all just dumb.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know it's
men
gonna
will
take a
be
while.
men, you
That's
know.
I can tell you that without spoiling anything. They're just dumb. The whole I think they're the stupidest boys in the Maasverse. All right. So next we're starting a little mini series on In Defense of, and we're going to be talking about characters that maybe aren't as popular, and we're going to defend them a little bit. And we're going to start with Nesta. And if you follow me, you know that I'm Nesta's biggest fan, so I'm super excited about this portion. Um, and yeah, I've been breaking Nessa's character down, and we see that while she's not a perfect character, and she has definitely been mean and made mistakes, um, much of that is expected for her circumstances and not as bad as it sounds in Favor's head when we actually look at each circumstance. Does anybody have any specific things that you want to nitpick?
Well, I want to like
Mhm.
mention that if you don't already follow Amy on TikTok, how many parts is it now? I feel like there's been like
I think I'm at like
15.
14,
Yeah,
15
there
parts.
she's got like a critique and analysis of Nesta's character and has been like deep diving all about all about her character and the
Yeah.
things that Feyre observes and the things that Nesta observes about herself. And it's just, I don't know. Like a lot, I was like listening to it grocery shopping the other day because it's just like listening to my own little podcast
I
Thank
know.
you.
about Nesta. So she's doing an awesome job on that. I, the one thing that I always think of, and I leave this on people's video, when people leave negative comments about Nesta, or I see like a video that's negative about Nesta, I always comment that in chapter 54 in ACOMAF, Feyre says to Rhysand, I don't cook. So obviously we know that Feyre was doing all the hunting, but like there are lots of other household chores that need to get done. So I'm like, obviously Nesta and Elaine were cooking. So I always am like, she wasn't lazy. She was obviously taking care of their little cabin and cooking.
Hmm.
So that's like that's like my defense of Nesta always. But I'm sure there's like way more insightful things
Yes. Well,
that you
and
can
that's a
all add to.
topic that we've been talking about on my page the last few days. Is because people are like, where does it say that Nesta does whatever? And there's not a lot that explicitly says that, but when you're looking at their POVs and the plot devices being used, such as the fact that, you know, Feyre is a little bit of a complainer and she has a right to be. Her life is tough, but she tells us all the ways that her life is tough. So if she were having to come home from hunting and scrub everything and cook everything, she would be telling us that because that's part of the plot devices used in her character. So the fact that she doesn't indicates that she's either not doing it at all or doing a very little amount of it,
Mhm.
which is expected because she's out hunting and trapping and you know that's expected. um so it's likely that it was Nesta and Elaine, probably more Nesta than Elaine because we know they both baby Elaine a little bit. So,
Mhm.
and some people don't like that it's not explicitly stated, but it's just the plot devices being used, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think, which is interesting because I feel like I am the one, like, I am, I'm not like, I'm not a full Nesta hater, but I was
Mhm.
definitely, I feel like the one in the group that was the most, like, kind of wary of Nesta and her character.
Hmm.
And I told them in the beginning, like, just full transparency. If you don't want to work with me, I get it. But
I hate kale and I'm
I
wary of
hate
Nesta.
kale. If there's
He's
a
just a
kale
boy.
hater, it's me. If there's none, I'm dead, which I'm working through it. I'm doing my reread.
So
I
funny.
recognize that I have biases, so I'm working through them and I'm open to change. So when I say that,
Beautiful.
like I do, like I've watched a lot of, I think I've watched all of like Nesta or not Nesta, well, Amy, Amy Nesta, um, Amy's videos on Nesta, and like she does like break things down in a way that like I have never would have even begun to think through. I just took it very much at face value because when
Mhm.
I read ACOTAR, I think like a lot of people, it was my reintroduction back to fantasy
Hmm.
since, I was in high school, college, and like as an adult, it was like my reintroduction to fantasy. And so
Yeah.
I like gobbled it up so quickly. Like I read it so quickly. And then I took it as face value. Like I was unaware of this like extensive Massiverse, like all like these different, like it's just such a multifaceted series and world
Mhm.
and characters. And that's not how I read it. And so I took it as very face value and very literal. And then I was telling them as well, like I had also heard that, SJM wrote the series based on like herself as Feyre and then her husband as Rhysand. So in my head, I had these rose-colored glasses that like surely like what is on paper is like canon, like that is factual because she would never like a character that's based on her husband and how perfect and wonderful he is, like she wouldn't, necessarily like yes, he's morally gray, yada yada, but like she wouldn't make him into this like conniving evil man, or she wouldn't make, Feyre into this like non-perfect main character. And like everybody around her, I think it was like also a little bit discussed that it was also based a little bit on like the evil stepsisters and like
Hmm.
so there was a lot of that mentality for
Hmm.
myself going into it. And so I think that is why I can fully admit that I was a big Nesta hater. And even after Court of Silver Flames, I was kind of like, yeah, like I totally get it, but there are still some points that I don't know that I completely agreed with. And like, again, I read it still with like Feyre's point of view and Farah's bias, like in mind. Like she was still like I was reading it and I was like, I miss Feyre and Rhysand and like them being all cute and like I miss like ACOCAC and like it was, so wonderful. And this is just kind of like uh but then like so that's where I started.
Hmm.
But thanks to Amy, I have seen the light. Not all the way,
Yes.
but it's there.
And,
I'm
you
getting
know,
there.
my goal isn't like to make everybody into like a Nesta lover. I'm just trying to reduce the amount of people who like hate her because of things that aren't quite true. I mean, I've heard people say she's like worse than Amarantha, and I'm like,
Oh no, I was never at that point. She just kind of irritated me, I think was
hmm
more of like I just felt like she could have just sucked it up and just like not been so mean. And I was telling them like I really wanted like them to be like sisters. And first of all, why is Papa Archeron not getting the hate
Right.
put on
No, I
him?
know.
Like
Yeah.
he first and foremost like should have been like
hmm
he was the worst.
They
So like
spent the last of their fortune to heal his leg. And for what? They should have just saved that money so that they
yes,
were impoverished for a less amount of time because he didn't do anything with the use of his leg.
Right.
That
He
that's
chose
yes,
to
that's
be bedridden,
controversial
essentially.
probably, and that's harsh, but
I agree.
It
But
was
I
giving that scene in Willy Wonka when the
Yeah.
grandfather suddenly gets out of bed to go like to the chocolate factory. Like,
He suddenly gets out of bed to go like raise a
yeah,
armada
yeah,
against Tyburn.
essentially.
like okay.
So like I think that I he deserves more hate, but then also like I think I was a little bit like upset that it wasn't like all three of them banding together and being best friends
Yeah.
and like looking out for each other. And like I felt like as the eldest, which shouldn't fall on the eldest, but I just feel like culturally like it just does because they're the oldest. I just was really sad that like she wasn't the one that like kept everybody together and like delegated the tasks to, you know, whoever. If Elaine wasn't hunting, if she wasn't hunting, delegating other stuff, which like I like Feyre not cooking, I completely forgot about that. So like
mhm,
things like that, I just didn't was
mhm,
not computing up here. So I think
mhm,
that was like my biggest thing is just like I was just I think disappointed in Nesta was I think
mhm,
that was it. Is like I was just disappointed because a lot of her traits and a lot of her personality like I really resonate with. Like I'm a bitter person. I'm a bitch. Like I get it, but like I think I just was really disappointed that she didn't like it wasn't like an us versus them. It was like a her versus everybody kind of
Hmm.
thing. And
mhm,
I think where I that's where my disappointment in Nesta lied.
mhm,
I think I remember, Amy, you had some videos a while ago, maybe about like the trauma responses, like flight, fight, fawn, and
yes,
how, like is being a bitch a crime? If Nesta's a bitch,
Hmm.
is that a crime akin to like what Amarantha did, you know?
Right.
Um,
When we're looking at the Archeron sisters and trauma responses, in my opinion, we see fawning with Elaine because you've got fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And then I think that we have a mixture of fight and flight with both Nesta and Feyre, but Nesta is more prone to flight than fight. And I know that sounds weird because she does like, bite back, but that's normally in like, you know, defense and short snippets. And then that's also a lot of times because she wants you to leave her alone. So
Mhm.
that's part of that. Um,
mhm,
and Feyre, I do think that she has fight and flight both, but I think she's more inclined to fight than flight. But I do think that they both have both of those characteristics,
mhm.
personally,
I agree.
because they are very similar, actually. Very similar. And Feyre tells us that multiple times.
Yeah. They are two sides of the same coin.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I think there's also a notion that like women have to respond very gracefully
Hmm.
to trauma.
Yeah. Something that Amy and I have talked about in her comments is if Nesta were a male main character, would
Yeah.
we be giving him more grace? Would we be, I don't know, possibly calling him daddy, like saying he's the like we
Hmm.
love a brooding male.
Hmm.
Why do we care when Nesta takes time to be broody and isolate and ruffle some
Hmm.
feathers? Like we eat that up when it's a male, but then when it's a female, like I'm not understanding why it's
Hmm.
less palatable when it's a woman doing it. Or like Nesta is very unapologetically authentic and like just herself, no filter.
Mhm.
Um and yeah, I think that there's a bit of a double standard with like
Hmm.
the male versus female fictional characters.
No, I agree because Rowan doesn't get a lot of hate for the things that he said to Aelin, you know?
Hmm.
But maybe it would have been better if you died 10 years ago. Um,
You're worthless, you're
you
a
know,
coward.
he punched her in the face, which I mean, she deserved it. She totally deserved that punch to the face. But like, still, he punched her in the face. Like, he threatened to whip her. That's all way worse than anything that Nesta ever said or did. Like, so,
I agree. I think the only caveat in my head is it was family, like Nesta to like her sisters versus Rowan to like a
A stranger
a
at
A
that
stranger,
point.
stranger,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
hmm.
But I do agree.
So the other thing of people saying like how Nesta is a bitch or Nesta's so mean, but like the people that she chooses, like her found family and the Valkyries, she is never mean to them. She's never mean to Gwen or Emery.
No, she's
All
fiercely
she does
protective
is
of them.
exactly, yeah.
Like she has not had any choices. Like all of
Mm-mm.
her choices have been taken away from her. Like I think that was her first like those were her first choices were the people that she willingly
Yeah.
wanted to befriend and surround herself
Hmm.
with. Having those choices ripped away from me, I'd be pretty freaking bitter as well.
Hmm.
Not like I mean Elaine went not willingly, but she went into the cauldron without like a whole lot of, a hullabaloo. But like Nesta went in kicking, screaming, like she went
Pointing.
in
Hmm.
pointing. She went in there with spite on the mind, which I do not blame her for. I would as well. Like
But
I
you
always,
want to know what gets me about that scene
hmm,
is when she reflects on it or has her dream about it or whatever in A Court of Silver Flames, her anger and her taking from the cauldron was because of what it took from Elaine, not even what it was going to take from
Oh.
her. Oh my God, I'm going to cry over Nesta again today. Um,
Oh.
oh,
so even then, like that wasn't for her.
Mm,
But no, I think you're right about Nesta not having choices. And I mean, really, none of them ever really had a lot of choices because they were, their situation. But Nesta was groomed by her mother and grandmother
right.
to be a certain way and to have certain expectations to marry into certain whatever. And, I think that Nesta came to take pride in that and also probably kind of elevate herself above others a little bit. That kind of comes with that kind of mindset. So then to become impoverished, and now
Right.
again, there's no choices in life. And then at the end of ACOTAR, she tells Feyre that she does not want to come live with the Fae because Feyre's like, "Hey, I'll come back and get you," and she's like, "Don't bother. I want
Oh,
to see what a woman with a name and good fortune could make for herself." And
yeah.
then she never gets to do that. We don't see her get to do that ever. So I do think that her friendships with Emery and Gwen are very powerful. And even though I don't agree with how she got there, I'm so happy that she got there because she really needed her own little inner circle, not like her sister's inner circle.
Hmm.
And oh, I love them so much.
You don't agree with how she got there, meaning like you don't agree that it was Rhysand telling her that she was going to be doing that.
Yes, I don't agree with the House of Wind situation
Right.
or her being forced to train. Um, I don't agree with those things, but I'm
It
happy for what
led
she
her
gained
to,
from it,
yeah.
even though I think we could have gotten there on different paths. I'm glad that she got those friends.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of the House of Wind, I did a little research for this episode because something that fascinates me about Nesta and her relationship with the House of Wind is that it is stated that the House of Wind has always been sentient, but not as sentient as it was when it made this relationship with Nesta. So I
Mm,
started to wonder, is this because Nesta has the power to imbue onto magical items?
Oh, I just got the
And
chills.
either way, whether it's
Ooh.
her imbuing this into or onto the House of Wind, that even though it was like not a huge, it was a subplot, the House of Wind and Nessa's relationship.
right.
That relationship was just so he like the House of Wind is Nessa's one of Nessa's biggest defenders. Like
Hmm.
it I don't think we talked about this on the last episode. I think we just talked about this amongst ourselves,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
it helped cure her fear of fire in the most tender but tough love way. It
Mhm.
heated her in alternative ways. It made sure she was fed. It reported back to Cassian that she was fed. Their slumber party
Mhm.
and Emery and Gwen being able to make little wishes, and the house is just so excited to like grant them all of this
Hmm.
stuff. I mean, yeah, I think that there is something to be said about the house gaining more sentience to form this relationship and this healing bond with Nesta.
I have a
And
thought.
leaving her the bucks.
Hmm.
Yes.
I love that.
What if it's because of how Nesta treated the House of Wind? Not that there's necessarily anything special with her magic, which we know there is, but the house was a sentient being, just like the cabin is sentient. But Nesta treated it respectfully. Not,
Hmm.
not necessarily at first. She was kind of angry at the house, because it
Hmm.
wouldn't do what she wanted. But like, you know, because we don't really
Hmm.
see anybody else even really attempt to interact with the house that way. It just provides what they need and they're not like, thank you, house. Like they don't talk to the house.
Hmm. That is true.
That's so
Hmm.
true. I'm like trying now I want to go back to ACOMAF and see if Feyre ever acknowledges the cabin.
Like this is like blowing my mind because I mean we talk about like all of the magic, really having a mind of its own. Like she is the only one that really connects with all of these forms of magic like they are something to be bonded with. versus something
Mm.
that just
Is.
exists,
Yeah.
yeah, in
Hmm.
this world. So that actually is very interesting that I have not really put together.
Also,
Okay.
why is Rhysand in possession of the only two known magic residences?
I don't know
See, but
why.
in my head, I just assumed that all of them were magic residences.
Just the cabin in the House of Wind that we know of, which I'm pretty sure the House of Wind is the Torre, but whatever.
Is that a Crescent City thing?
No,
The
No,
nope.
the
the
where
healing
Irene
Oh,
university.
goes.
She's just got Cece on the mind.
Yeah.
I was like, don't
I don't
spoil
I
anything.
don't blame
No, but
you.
I do think that it is something that is mentioned in there as well. I think
Hmm,
it is the same thing.
hmm.
Wait, you think the House of Wind is the Torre Chesme from Throne of Glass? Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
Okay.
So then when Aelin was flying through worlds, she was flying through her own world, but just back in time.
Time
So
and
if
space,
Don't get me
Addie.
started on
I
this because I need to finish Crescent City. But as soon as I do, my time theory is going to be so freaking complete.
if we are assuming that it's not time travel or not solely time travel, even if these are different universes, it's I think it's kind of like they're very similar, like
Mm,
mirrors of each other almost, or like you know what I mean? Or like the same planet multiple times, kind of like
hmm.
what are they
Hmm.
like Earth,
Well, Meryl says it that they could all
Stacked
be
on each
stacked
other.
on top of one
mhm.
another, and you would
Hmm.
never know that you were walking on the
Yeah.
floor of someone else's world or whatever.
Hmm.
Yes.
Like there like the spiral theory or something. There's a name for it. I
The
sound like an
string
idiot.
theory, I think.
Like time's not linear.
Mm-hmm.
Like time kind of like move. Oh,
Oh,
RIP.
oh no.
We lost her. What else were we talking about?
Like the worlds on top of worlds.
Oh, I have a crackpot theory.
My
Like
favorite.
that this is really like this is a Dom. You're funny. Um we never see the entire world map in any of these books. So really, is it just one
Mhm.
world on different
I had thought
sides?
that same thing.
Like, is this just one world, but we are just like on different continents? Because like
Hmm.
none of the books actually show the entire world view. It's just like, oh, these are the two continents. Oh, this is the one continent and its island.
I
But I
had
think
thought
in
the
Crescent
same
City,
thing.
they specifically say on the planet Midgard, which does stand out to me. I don't think
But
any of the other series say anything about a
if they're but if
planet.
they're all
I don't think they
secluded
have
to
that
each other,
knowledge.
right? So like if they're all secluded to their own, continent, like they don't know. It's like when Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean
Yeah.
blue, like people didn't know about America and they had their own, idea of this is how it works. This is the planet we're on, this is the culture we speak, and maybe they do have remnants of other cultures because those are the Fae that happened to figure out how to get to other countries through like winnowing, but like they
Hmm.
only winnow a little bit, they swim, and then they winnow some more across the, world. So that's my crackpot theory is it's
It's
just a
one
single
world.
world, but we're just on different continents across the whole
Hmm.
thing and nobody's figured out and this is like a Christopher Columbus retelling.
No,
And
stop.
Bryce is Christopher, but she's not gonna actually colonize. She's gonna bring people to
Decolonize?
it's gonna decolonize. That's why it's a retelling
I
because
can't.
oh,
You're crazy.
I
No,
told
I
you.
have had that same thing with the maps. Like we don't have like a full map.
A
Like
full
are these
map,
like
yeah.
could this all be the same? And then I also think to myself about like is these are the same places just at different periods of time?
I think that a lot.
Which
I
I
think that.
refuse to believe because Aelin is alive. She is happily
She's
married
right
with
here.
Rowan. She's got her 3.5 children, and she is having a wonderful time in Terrasen until she gets a call from the Avengers that it's time to buckle up and kick some ass. And that's how it's gonna end. And I refuse to believe anything different.
It could be like 3,000 years after Aelin, because she was going to get like 1,000 years with Rowan, right? So it could be like 3,000 years later.
No, she's alive. She's in current
Okay.
times. She's alive.
She lives in you. She lives in your heart.
Here's the funny.
I
I just
do have
want
a
to
fire
say,
in my heart.
you've got the Torre, and near the Torre are the Windhaven Mountains, and then you have the House of Wind, and near the House of Wind are the Windhaven Mountains.
Yeah.
They are both, they have these libraries. They both have cat imagery. Um, like
Huh.
I I believe the Torre is also like sentient.
Damn.
When in this reread, in this annotated reread that Dom and I are doing, I'm
Mm,
not going to tandem. Did you tandem read the first time you guys, did you all do the tandem read?
yes.
I
No,
regret it.
Yes.
heck no,
You didn't do the tandem read.
no.
I did the tandem read and I loved it because I needed a break from Chaol.
Leave him alone.
I know. I'm sorry. You have your Nesta episode and I will have my Chaol episode and then we'll do another episode when I finish the series and I'll be like, I'm sorry guys, he's not that bad. But for now, he's still pissing me
I do
off.
want to say though, Nesta's not your favorite. You don't hate her, but she's not your favorite, and
Mhm.
you don't like Kale. And I actually think they're very similar
I
characters
do.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
I
because
completely, and that's
They
they
why,
are a
because
are
mirror
Chaol
for the
disappointed
reader.
realistic.
me. Chaol
Yes.
disappointed me.
They're realistic. Like their
hmm
arcs are more realistic. It's
Yes,
not,
they are.
you
And that's
know,
why I'm mad because
and
I don't want to read about a realistic arc. I want to read about fairies and people who get over
Mhm.
their problems a lot faster than I would. Okay?
That's true.
and that's why I think a lot of people don't
The
like
train
them.
with Rowan.
Yeah.
That and I think that they hit too close to home for some people, whether that be people that they know in life or them themselves, and it's
Mm.
easier just to be like, don't like that character, than have to look inward. Like they're tough characters for
Yeah.
a reason.
I fell in love with him like Selena did. Aelin's a much better person than I am because I'd hold a grudge if he was that mean to me and I tried to open my heart up and he got mad at me for killing people for my job and for hiding things from him and him having this one-track mind. I should be his wonderful princess who can do no wrong and he should love me for who I am and just get over it. And
Dom says, "You will always be my enemy."
yeah. But I mean, like I joke, but like I mean, I completely get it. Like I do
Mhm.
understand. Like it's a very multidimensional. Both of them are very multidimensional characters,
Very.
and like they both have their own arcs. They just don't align with how I ideally want them to go.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
and I think that's
Valid.
probably a lot of people's problem is
I
just
think
like
Yeah.
it they did not their arc did not go as they wanted it as like you wanted it to go as a reader and I acknowledge that.
hmm
It was his healing journey was a lot slower than I wanted it to be. And frankly,
it
it
did
was a
take a
lot of
while.
healing that I didn't want to read about. But
Well, that's why I'm excited for this reread. I'm not gonna tandem because I want to see how it flows.
oh, I think I'll have to make that decision as I get
Yeah.
closer
You
to
don't have
it
to
because
decide
I
tonight.
think
I don't need your commitment on this tonight.
this is what I'm gonna do. If I don't, you can burn
I will
me.
say, even though I loved Kale, the starting of Tower of Dawn did start off a little slow for me.
Because it's like
Um,
brand new world building.
exactly. It's
Mhm.
like, a
Yeah.
whole new thing. But the amount of information that you learn in Tower of Dawn, I don't think I could have kept up with if I was tandem reading because,
That's very
whew,
valid because
Yeah.
I will be the first to admit, I really like I was skipping over things
Mhm.
in Tower of Dawn at the
That's
beginning.
where I read the Windhaven Mountains, and I
Yeah.
literally stopped everything. I put everything down, started pulling out my phone, like looking stuff up. I'm like
Mhm.
pulling up books and notes, and my husband's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure the Windhaven Mountains are in one of these other books already."
Yeah. No, that's
And I
and
was
that's
like hunting until I found it, and then I was like, "Oh my God."
and like that's why I'm so excited about this reread because I'm doing it so intentionally versus the first and I think that this is how every person like read should go is they should read it one time quickly for the vibes and get
The
the main
vibes.
story
Yeah.
and then go back in, reread it and actually get the details.
Yeah.
Dig in.
And I do
Yeah.
think that that does change a lot of context. And I do think that that is where a lot of people, like where a lot of those differences do lie, of people who read it with the context and have all of those like subtle details and like intentions, like Amy, who read it the first time, and you have all of this subconscious like information of, okay, well, she did this because of X, Y, and Z. And then you have dipshits like me who are just like, where's Aelin? Where's Aelin? Let me just
Yeah.
skip these details and
Where
get
is my wife?
where's Aelin? Like, and like skipping these like chunks of like just skimming through so I can get to the dialogue part of it. I'm the worst. Is like I like tend to skip straight to the dialogue and I
My
know I
God.
can't, but like
Mhm.
I just want to get to the dialogue and all the fluff, which you can't do in an SJM book, and I very much recognize that. And this is a personal fault of mine that I'm trying to retrain, which is why I'm
Mhm.
doing this annotated reread because I've already caught so much. I've caught so much. Like the fact that this is my third time reading at Crown of Midnight. Tell me how
You didn't know it was Baba
I
Yellow Legs.
tell me how I did not realize that Baba Yellowlegs had yellow fucking legs. Like
It's
how
like mentioned
stupid.
like
It's
in
mentioned in like
every
three
book.
other books. Like how stupid am I? But like that's a testament to like how important details are in these books and how that changes the context
Hmm.
of a lot of opinions. Because I'm sure like going into this reread with all of this like all these views about Kale from you guys, like I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, he's just a boy, I guess. Like he's gone through X, Y, and Z. Like and I highlighted there. I don't have it with me, but I highlighted something from the Crown of Midnight book where like Kale is reflecting on he's like being called to the King of Adarlan, and he's saying, King of Adarlan saying, hey, I need to let you know that there's a hit out on
Nehemia.
Nehemia. Um, but and he's like, okay, like let me tell people. He's like, don't tell anybody. Don't worry about it. There's just a hit out, just an FYI. And they're like he's doing reflecting and he's saying at that like my loyalties lie to the King of Adarlan because at the end of the day, like he is all I have left. Like I have given up my title, my family, my land. Like I've given up everything. Like I've worked way too hard to like let some little blonde girl get in my way. Like no matter how I
Hmm.
feel about her, like this is like I need to get my head on straight. This is where my loyalties lie. And
Mhm.
I highlighted that because I was like, damn it, they had a point.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Do I
Yeah.
wish he would have told her? Of course. But also at that point, for one, I mean, what could she have done really?
Mhm.
Um, Especially knowing what we know later about Nehemia basically knew it was all going to happen.
She
Yep.
she set the whole thing into motion.
Yeah. So, but like he wasn't wrong.
Also,
He put up extra protections. He did his job. He just didn't tell her.
yep. Which like again, like first reread, I was like, damn it, like why didn't you just tell him? But like now I'm like, well, I get it, I guess. You're not wrong. So
Sucks though.
it does.
In defense of Kale and Nesta.
Yeah, but I am excited for an ACOTAR reread now that I've read Throne of Glass and I'm reading
Hmm.
Crescent City. I mean, I've reread ACOTAR and ACOMAF like probably 3 times, but I've never reread A Court of Silver Flames, and I'm really excited to do that
Mhm.
after finishing Crescent City. And yeah, just reanalyzing really Nesta and Cassian's relationship because I am very, I don't love them together and
I don't either.
have my grievances about Cassian. And I'm excited to reread
Do we need a debate?
knowing this is how I feel now instead of like being all swooned by Cassian and their chemistry in the headboard.
A winged male with bat wings.
Mhm.
Set it to a self-proclaimed witch. Like what?
Oh, that is another Nesta thing.
Which
Witch.
Her
Yes, I am.
fingers.
Her iron nails. I
Mhm.
mean, they're not explicitly
her
iron, but we carve into a stair.
is there any sort of verbiage that they use about her like her will or like
Mhm.
her stubbornness being like iron or
I
something?
think that I think
Oh,
so. On all of that, could we talk about how both Nesta and Elide claim to be a witch, and
yes.
pretty much therefore they are one?
Hmm.
Yes. Oh my God, I love a lead so much. I
I
love
do.
Nesta, obviously. I love I love all the 13.
Oh, 13.
Rest in peace.
What if Nesta ends up with 13 Valkyrie or 12 Valkyrie and she'd be the 13th?
Oh
Like
my
what
God.
if they end up with 13?
And what if they end up
And
with
that'll be her court.
I'm just kidding.
Because she already has the parallel with Manon like holding the
Hmm.
line.
This is true. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Hmm.
excited. I know, I feel like I said this last episode too, but like oh, we need SJM, we need ACOTAR 6, babe.
I think
Sarah
we're
Janet.
getting I think we're getting two more Crescent Cities.
Before ACOTAR 6?
Definitely one, I feel.
I I think there's going to be at least one more, and it's going to focus on certain characters. I'm not sure about one more after that. That will probably depend on whatever would happen in the fourth one. But I think there's one more of those for sure, and at
Hmm.
a minimum, two more ACOTAR books.
Yeah.
The
She's
bare
on
minimum.
record saying 2 books, 1 novella for ACOTAR still. 2 more books, 1 more novella. Which like her novellas are like the size of normal books, so.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Hmm.
All right, so for our little closing tonight, we are going to just share like the strangest song that reminds you of your favorite romantasy character, scene, book, whatever. And I had thought of this just because I heard in an interview SJM said that she was at a Blink 182 concert and was thinking about Cassian and Nesta, which I thought was like so adorable. So I mean, I could share mine first. It's so weird, and I don't know if the album came out when I was reading Queen of Shadows, but like for some reason, I when I listen to Lady Gaga's "How Bad Do You Want Me," I like think of Aelin and Rowan from like Queen of Shadows era. And it's really weird. And anytime that song comes on my Spotify, I'm like, oh, Aelin and Rowan.
I
You know,
love that
just a
song.
just a woman in her 30s with a husband and 2 kids daydreaming about Aelin and Rowan.
Fictional men,
Exactly. Not only the men, I was daydreaming about both of them.
as he
Um,
should.
so that's my like weird thing. I'm sure there's like many others, but
Yeah, mine's not weird now that you've said yours.
mine's weird.
Well, I don't think yours is weird, actually. I take that back. It's not weird. Yours is just like very happy. Mine's Bury a Friend, Billie
Oh,
Eilish.
Oh,
yeah.
Um,
That's on my
and
Nesta workout playlist.
I have that for reminds me of Aelin
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Selena and Manon.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have two.
Hmm.
One for also Aelin and Rowan, their tattoo scenes specifically, and the song Go Fuck Yourself is so hot. And then on the Billie Eilish note, you just made me think of this, and I'm just getting into Crescent City, but a perfect song for Bryce when she decides to get sober after losing Danica would be Zanny, like 1,000% because everyone around her is still partying. She's keeping up this like Hunt is like, what is this, gin or vodka? And he's
And
like,
it's
it's
seltzer water.
water. Like
I
that
love
song for
that.
her.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She is such a queen. I'm so excited to be on this journey with
Same.
Addie and Bryce.
I love it. So for me, a song that's kind of weird that makes me think of Bryce is Girls with Guns by Baby Jane. Um, and then Past Self by Sleep Token makes me think specifically of Nesta, but really all of our FMCs. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Sleep Token is so good for the
ugh, any
romanticity
song, any
Talk.
character.
Yeah.
I need to get into Sleep Token. I don't think
I
I've
have
heard
heard
any
that
of their
there's
songs.
a Swiftie to Sleep Token pipeline down. I
Okay.
think you and I could probably get into them easily.
Fantastic. I am on board.
They're beautiful.
Because it's like super poetic and right, like that's like kind of I think
Hmm.
why they say it's like the Swiftie to Sleep Token.
Okay.
Yes, and there's like a lot of lore, which I don't really keep up with like the lore that much. I've got too much going on, but
You have a lot of
Valid.
other lore to
too
keep
much.
As
track
she points to her filled up
Yeah.
whiteboard.
And all the notes on the wall.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, guys.
Insane.
Awesome.
I love that. That was such a good episode. We covered a lot. This will be fun
We
to
did.
edit.
Thanks for spiraling with us. Now get back to your TBR.
Bye.
Bye.